In this video, I'm going to quickly review what we worked through in class on Friday, October 2nd, on the front page of this notes worksheet, and then I'm going to talk you through some of the key points of the back side of the notes worksheet to help you through that. And this whole lesson, again, is exploring parallel and perpendicular lines from a geometry perspective. And of course, one of your assignments at home on Monday and Tuesday this week, October 5th and 6th, is for you to review the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines from an algebraic perspective. So when we were in class on Friday, we said that this lesson in particular is going to talk about the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines, which we are going to use to help us understand three main properties of reflections. And the first property of reflections we've already worked with so far. We just haven't specifically called it out. And that is that any pre-image point and its image point are always going to be the same distance away from the line of reflection. So in other words, in this little drawing here, point P is a certain distance away from the line of reflection, and point P prime is the same distance away on the other side. And of course, we have used that idea to help us draw reflected images in this class this past week. Now, the next two problems focus on that connection with slope using different transformations. So in problem 169 here in class, what we did was we graphed the line y equals 3/5 x minus 4, and you can see I have that graphed in blue on my graph here. And then we went and took that and shifted it up 5 units. So I'm just taking each of these key points, okay, and shifting them up 5 units and drawing my line through those new points, okay? And that's translating the line y equals 3/5 x minus 4 up 5 units. And then you were asked to make some connections between the slope of those two lines. Well, first of all, my new green line has a slope of positive 3/5, just like the slope of my old blue line had a slope of positive 3/5. I didn't change the steepness of my line, I just slid it up 5 units. And if I follow that old y-intercept here of -4 up 5 units, it goes to a +1. So my new line has an equation of 3/5 x plus 1. What is the relationship between the old line and its image? They are essentially the same line, just slid up 5 units. And how do their slopes compare? They are the same, okay? Both have a slope of positive 3/5. Now, if we take a look at the next problem here, okay, it has you take that same original line, y equals 3/5 x minus 4, and now we're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, okay? So around this way, 90 degrees. And what that does is it makes my new green line perpendicular now to my old blue line. And so after you do that rotation, a couple of key points that I noticed when I used my tracing paper to rotate it. First of all, the two lines intersected right here at the point -1, -5. And my new green line also had an x-intercept of -4, 0. So using those two key points, I calculated the slope of that new green line to be -5/3. So my equation of my green line is y equals a -5/3 x, and I gave you that new y-intercept, and remember in class I corrected it. It's a little typo here. That should be a -20/3. I'll fix that for next time. Okay, so my equation is y equals a -5/3 x minus 20/3. Okay, so what is the relationship between the original line and the rotated line? These are going to be perpendicular. And how do their slopes compare? They are opposite signs, and They are reciprocals. My old line had a slope of positive 3/5. My new line has a slope of negative 5/3. Reciprocal means we flip the fraction. Now on the back side of this notes page, you're going to work through these problems on your own to continue verifying this relationship between parallel and perpendicular lines. Different classes ended at a different spot on Friday, so I will just start at the beginning, and if this is something your class did, you could use it as a review, or you can skip forward to the parts that you need. So in this first section, what you're doing is you're continuing to verify this idea that the slopes of perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals, all right? And so you're simply going to draw 3 different lines to continue testing out this idea. Every line that you draw is going to go through the origin. The first one is going to have a slope of positive 1, so up 1 over 1, okay? And you'll draw in a line that has that slope. And then you will take your tracing paper and you will rotate that line 90 degrees about the origin, the point 0, 0, okay? And write down the slope of your new line and verify that they are opposite reciprocals. Then you'll come over to B and you'll do the same thing with a line that has a slope of positive 1/3. So up 1 over 3, or you can go down 1 and back 3. And again, this line is going to go right through the point 0, 0. And then you'll take your tracing paper again and rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, sketch your new line, verify the slopes are opposite reciprocals. Same thing with the last one here. You'll start with a line that has a y-intercept at 0, 0 and has a slope of down 3 and over 4, or you can go up 3 and back 4. And you're going to you'll draw in that line, and again, rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, verify that the slope of your new line has the opposite sign and is the reciprocal of our first line, which has a slope of negative 3/4. And then you'll comment on how the slopes compare. What you should find is that the slopes of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocals. What that means is they have opposite signs and they are reciprocals of each other. We flip the fraction. Now in problem 1-71, you're going to verify this for the general case. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this first line right here all the way over on the left, and you're going to rotate it using tracing paper 90 degrees clockwise, and you're going to follow B and A and write them in, replace those question marks with either B or A wherever they end up after the rotation, okay? So follow A and B. Where do they end up? What changes? And how would you express the slope of each line in terms of both A and B? I want you to think about that, okay? And then for problem 1-72, all right, now what you're doing is you're using slope to verify these other 2 properties. Remember at the beginning I said there were 3 properties of reflections that we were going to verify using parallel and perpendicular lines. Here's property 2 and here's property 3, and I'll briefly explain what those mean. Property 2 says that segments connecting pre-image points to their reflected image should be parallel. What does that mean? Well, if I take P and P prime, a pre-image point and its image point, and I connect them with a segment, and if I do the same with Q and Q prime, another pre-image point and image point, and if I do the same with R and R prime, another pre-image point and image point, all 3 of those segments that I just drew in should be parallel to each other. How do you verify that using slope? If they're parallel, their slope should be the same. So you're going to calculate the slope of segment P, P prime, and verify that it's the same as the slope of segment Q, Q prime. and that's the same as the slope of segment R prime. Okay, so I'll be looking for those calculations when you come into class on Wednesday this week. Property 3 says that these same segments that I drew in connecting pre-image points to their reflected image should also be perpendicular to the line of reflection. Okay, how do you use slope to verify this? Well, you're going to show that the slope of R prime is the opposite reciprocal of the slope of the line of reflection. So you're going to have to calculate. You already know the slope of those 3 segments we drew in. You figured that out for property 2. Now you just need to calculate the slope of the line of reflection and verify that it's the opposite reciprocal of the slope of R prime, Q prime, and P prime. So when we come back to school on Wednesday, I'll be looking to see that in problem 70, you continued to verify that every time we had 2 perpendicular lines, their slopes were opposite reciprocals, that you wrote a rule in for the general case for the slopes of perpendicular lines in problem 1-71, and that you used the ideas about the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines to verify properties 2 and property 3 in this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know.